can only watch it for the first time once. It'll be interesting to see what we catch and what we don't.
This is our only first time.
We know that it's a serialized show.
Have you ever played the video game Mass Effect?
Okay, Tolkien, chill
Putting
out.
some little breadcrumbs.
Jean Prade Chuckle Nugget. This is where Babylon 5 is becoming Babylon 5.
We have the most incredible community out there.
Feels like we're going to continue to go down this rabbit hole.
I was right.
Just trying to put the pieces together.
I was right.
I'm the king, baby.
What? Are you kidding me? Here I go back to Dune, as I often
We're
do.
officially into it, Jeff. 100%
So good.
It was so completely accurate.
That was great. I love that.
Definitive ranking. I can keep watching the show.
I love it so much.
The year is 2026. The name of the podcast, Babylon 5, for the second time.
Welcome to Babylon 5 for the second time. My name is Brent Allen.
And my name is Jeff Akin. Brent and I used to be Star Trek podcasters, and then we watched Babylon 5 for the first time, and everything changed. So now we're watching this incredible series for the second time because you may not realize this, but Babylon 5 is a very rare thing in television. And one of the things that makes it rare is it's one that you get to watch for the first time twice.
That's right. And you know what we get to do for the first time twice? Actually, frankly, I feel like we could do this for the first time every time we watch the show, Jeff. Look for messages.
We do. Yep.
And find something new every single time. And we're doing that this time around. We're looking for mirrors to society, hope that things can be better in the future. How do we be better human beings to one another? I saw earlier today, Jeff, a prominent sci-fi showrunner, producer guy at an awards ceremony said this: sci-fi is not about the future. Sci-fi is about right now. And a lot of people were losing their crap on him. And I was actually like, no, he's right.
Yep.
Sci-fi is not about the future. It's actually about what's happening right now. Anyway, so there's that. Now, that being said, I would like to speak directly to the folks out there who are joining us, and this is your first watch through Babylon 5, or maybe you're not even watching through, you're just kind of hanging out with Jeff and I. Totally cool. Love it. You're welcome. Just not here. We have a whole other show called Babylon 5 for the first time that is completely spoiler-free. Trust us, you want to go join us over there. So pause this one. I don't say, no, I keep saying stop, and I need to say stop. I don't want you to stop. I just want you to pause. Go back to the other one, and then come back here once you catch up with us. Trust us, it's better that way, because that being said, for Jeff and I, everything from any point in the franchise, from any point in the timeline, in universe, out of universe, canonical, extra canonical, headcanon, or JMS canon, doesn't matter. It is all fair game for Jeff and I to talk about. We will talk about it. So this is your one and only spoiler warning.
My warning is sincere. Ignore it at your own peril.
Brent, this is a landmark episode for us.
Is it?
We're closing out season 3
Ooh.
for the second time by watching an episode called Zahadum. Do you remember from the first time around what you predicted this episode was going to be about?
I did. I said this is basically Sheridan trying to decide whether or not to go to Zahadum. We've heard it several times now. Yes, I know. We've heard it several times now. If you go to Zahadum, you will die. Don't go to Zahadum. Don't go to Zahadum. Don't go. So what's going to happen?
He's going to go.
He's going to go to Zahadum. What happens when you put a sign in the window that says, please don't throw a brick through this window? You can get a brick through that window.
Yep. Every time.
Right? Don't go to Zahadum. Don't go to Zahadum.
Your
John,
Honor, the sign
boy.
said, do not throw the brick. How could I not throw the brick?
Right? But I said specifically here because Anna is back. So Anna is going to be telling John to go. Delenn is going to be saying no. Sheridan's going to wind up going because he's going to reason it out that now that he has a piece of Kosh inside of him, Kosh will be with him when he goes, and therefore he will be safe, right? And he would have some sort of protection, which is opposite from when Kosh said, if you go to Zahadum, you will die. Like, now he's going to be, or if you go to Zahadum, I won't be with you, or something like that. And now that's not going to be. But I also said he'd probably get captured. And Jeff, here's where I get a little bit of credit for all of that.
Okay.
Although I do think a good portion of him was him trying to decide whether or not he was going to go. Yeah. But I said this, he's going to be out of the game for a while. He was out of the game for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe not a long while, but a while. How about you, Jeff? What'd you predict this episode was going to be about?
I pretty much agreed with you. I was like, yeah, he's going to go to Zahadum. He's going to die. Like all these things are, all this stuff's going to happen. My thought on his death, though, is it was going to be more of a metaphorical death. I actually referenced death of personality and all that stuff, and how we've learned in this world there's other kind of deaths that can happen. But But I figured that, like, he'd die his metaphorical death. He'd fall out of comms, something like that. You know, Captain, where are you at? And then all of a sudden, like 40 shadow ships are going to bust out of hyperspace around Babylon 5. Fade to black, we'll see Douglas Netter's name, and you and I'll be like, what the just happened? And that'll be how the episode ends.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Jeff, that's what we predicted the first time around.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm really interested in, though?
Probably the same thing I am.
What we actually said the first time around.
Yeah.
You want to take a look at that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's take a look.
Previously on Babylon 5 for the first time. Zahha-Dum.
This episode to me felt very much like Best of Both Worlds Part 1.
I felt like I got punched in the stomach. Like, literally, this episode took my emotions and went, feel this, whether you want to or not. Whether you believe this is a long-term death or not, doesn't matter. You're going to feel this. Really, this episode was some cool effects, but almost all talking. We've been specially trained to not only watch episodes that are all talking, but to deeply appreciate episodes that are all talking.
Do we really know what the Shadow's motivations are? All we know is what they just told us.
Exactly, which could be total horsepower.
Could be total garbage. They actually have some benevolent sides to them. That actually, I think, makes them a much tougher and a much more scary villain than just all-powerful evil.
How they portray the Vorlons. Are their means cool? Like genetic manipulation, introducing religion, and tweaking society? Is that okay? There's no binary. There's not a good guy. There's not a bad guy.
Right.
There are people with motivation.
No one on Babylon 5 is what they seem. Presuming that what they said was true, that also includes the Shadows.
So I got questions about Sheridan's motivations. He says that we saw this future, so in his own mind, he decides, when I was there, she told me not to go to Zahha-Dum. So I probably didn't go to Zahha-Dum. So if I do go to Zahha-Dum, I can subvert the whole thing and change it all. There are a lot of wild leaps in logic.
The rules of time travel are always the same. As bad as it is, you still got to let it happen, otherwise the Nazis take over.
In Revelations, we learned about Anna. I never got to say goodbye. He said goodbye to Delenn. He looked in the camera and he said, I love you, goodbye. I thought that was beautiful. So Sheridan jumps. He listens to Kosh. And then I was like, you know who else jumped and then came out different and changed? That's Gandalf in Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
You know why I feel like a moron? Do you remember the name of the place he was when he faced the Balrog? Khazad-dûm.
And whatever this version is of Sheridan in the future that we're seeing is some resurrected form of Sheridan.
And now, the conclusion. I feel like an idiot all the time, but apparently that's been a long-standing thing for me.
The what?
Feeling like an idiot.
Oh, well. Sometimes you feel how you look, Jeff.
Yeah, exactly. It took me a minute to get that.
Oh, man. Jeff. Zahha-Dûm.
I feel like we liked that episode.
A little bit.
Just a bit.
A little bit. I tell you, it's good in my memory.
It's a thing I am curious. I said it in this, and it was in the back of my head thinking about it, but Sheridan's reasoning for going, I remember it's just like, that is a very thin thread. Like, that seems...
I'll tell you, I feel like I remember just about everything in this episode. I really do. I'm interested to see the parts that I forgot, or maybe the things I misremembered. I'm really interested to see the conversation between Justin and like that living room scene.
Yeah.
I want to pay attention because the first time around, I was watching it through a very skeptical eye.
Totally.
And now I don't need to. What he says is what I need to actually listen to and pay attention. So I'm eager to get into that. So
let's do that.
Jeff, why don't we get into it?
Let's watch the episode. Yeah. Hey, welcome everyone who's here. If this is your first time with us, welcome. Every episode is somebody's first. We're super glad you joined us for this one. What's going to happen is Brent and I are going to watch the episode right here with you. While we're watching it, we're going to talk about it, respond to things, react to things, postulate different things. If you're going to watch this on YouTube, well, if you are watching this on YouTube, this is going to be edited, cut together into a reaction style video. If you want to see the full video, no cuts, no edits, anything like that, you can get that on our Patreon page. Our Patreon page is patreon.com/.
Bad Nerds.
And if you're listening to us on an audio app of some sort, or maybe a video app and you're only listening to the audio, well, guess what? You're going to hear the exact same thing, because we're going to have those conversations in the middle of it, and we don't want you to miss out on that. Plus, we'll have all the stuff on the back end. So, Jeff, let's get into a video.
Let's watch it. As we kick off the episode, Brent, JMS has a thing to say before we even start. This episode, right now, as it has begun airing, marks the first time in the 50-plus years of American history, American television history, that one person has single-handedly written an entire season of a series. Closest record is Terry Nation, who wrote the 13-episode first season of Blake's 7. But that was only 13 episodes. He goes on to say...
What are you talking about? That is an entire season of television. Is it not?
It is, but this was 22 episodes. I think at the time...
So his season is better than your season?
I think at the time, this was what constituted a full season.
Sure.
My favorite part is what he goes on to say. I have no plans to do this in the 4th season. We shall see.
You know, when you get into something like that, you have your reasons for doing it.
Have a phrase. What is best is prologue.
I am really excited about signing on board the Icarus next week. John and I were supposed to spend some time
I can't
together,
hear her
but
voice. I
Dr.
can't
Chang
not hear
thinks
the
he's
voice.
found the ruins of an ancient civilization that no one's ever even heard of before.
Zahadu. The Icarus. They found something, didn't they?
All those people are
Once
CGI.
awakened, the shadows could not allow them to leave.
139.
Do we
people
know
died on
yet
board
that
the
that's
Icarus,
IPX?
Mr. Warden,
Yeah.
We
including
do.
my wife. And here you sit, not a scratch.
You must be Delenn. I'm
You can just see the,
Anna Shane,
stick
John's
Delenn.
wife.
Wow. John's, do you hear that? John's wife.
But he had a couple different stories around Melissa Gilbert and how she got cast as Anna.
Okay.
So, per the Lurker's Guide, when this aired, there was a scheduling issue with the original actress. In the scripts of J. Michael Straczynski, I have here on my desk, thank you to Andrew for these, he says that he wasn't sure if he wanted...
I'll just note, I don't have those on my desk.
Yeah, you don't. Just leave that out there. People can do as they want with that information.
I'm sorry. I keep cutting you off. Go ahead.
That's right. But he said that he wasn't sure that he wanted to use the OG actress for this one.
Why?
Didn't say why. Just wasn't sure he wanted to use her again.
Because, yeah.
I can see why.
Yeah, I mean...
He did great.
We never saw her and Bruce together on screen.
Nope.
Who knows what that could have been like?
I just know that
Anyway.
she makes a good video dating VHS tape.
Okay.
That's what
There you go.
that's all we knew of her. So back at the Boxleitner home, Melissa saw the script on Bruce's table and said that she wanted to do the role. Bruce called JMS, and here we are. Either way, JMS considered redoing the scene in Revelations, like actually in the episode
Like
itself.
George Lucas style?
Exactly.
Like we're gonna go back and we're gonna put Hayden Christensen as Ghost Anakin at the end of Return of the Jedi.
It's always
style.
been this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he considered
I
doing it.
don't mind that, honestly.
Yeah.
Just, the other lady still gets all her money. That's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what SAG rules do for stuff like that, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. But I thought it was an interesting story, and so fascinating how he's got multiple stories himself.
So I said the other day, well, of course she got the role real easy. The wheels were greased, and that's still true. Like, she saw the script, she read it, she wanted to do it, fine. Also, that made it a real easy get.
Yeah.
Also, villains are the best parts to play.
It's so fun. He's horrified.
God, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here? After 5 years, that's the best that you can do.
I,
Though under the circumstances, I can understand.
Oh my gosh.
it's like, was she talking about Delenn or about what he said?
No, it's after 5 years, that's the best you can do.
Wait.
It's all right, John. Let her go. You can talk to her later.
Dude, she is talking to him like a wife.
I thought you were dead.
She didn't tell you? Well, that is interesting. I'm sorry that I couldn't tell you myself.
I like the plate of oranges over there.
He loves his oranges. She's wearing an outfit like Lita was wearing when she came back, like with a little neck thing and then a break in it. In Klingon terms, we call it a boob window.
A boob window.
We're together again. I know what you're thinking.
Oh, yeah.
How can you be sure if it's really me? I'll take whatever test you want. Ask me any question. I don't mind. I can do that.
I kind of hate that they didn't stay together.
All you have to do is come with me.
Yeah. I feel like I have a personal stake in these two.
To Zahadu.
Where else? The one place you've been told not to go.
Dig it.
Yeah.
I'm in.
It's so fascinating, and you alluded to it. To this point, the first time around, the shadows are the bad guys. This is the first time it was introduced in a way, this episode, where it's like, oh, maybe they're not. You know, there's more to it. But for her to just come in and be like, the way she just kind of assumed, I don't know, like, that he would know what was up, you know, like, I'm clearly from the shadows, like, but it's really me, but clearly I'm from them, and I can tell you what's up. I just think it's an interesting way for her to have approached him.
I am struggling right now because I'm trying to see, this isn't really Anna, it's shadows controlling her. Like, it's her body. They've tapped into her mind and her resources, but not that we know Anna at all, but like something should still be off. Personal cadence, maybe personality quirks, whatever. But man, the way she came in, like, really? That's all you can say after 5 years? Ugh, I'm his wife.
Right.
Back off. Beep.
Every piece of equipment I've got says that's your wife.
Anna died at Sahadum.
She looks pretty lively to me. I thought you'd
Adam
be happy to have her
Nimoy
back.
directed this episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was years before
pretty sure we
That's
mentioned
dope.
it,
finally
but-
accept
yeah.
her death.
He did a couple episodes.
I had to force myself to start over, to create a new life.
Hey, second time's the
And
first time.
Delenn,
Have you talked to her yet?
she was in my quarters when Anna showed up.
Yeah, baby.
Right.
Is there anything
Franklin's like,
else?
can you tell me
There's
more
some
about that?
epidermal scarring.
I was gonna say, Franklin didn't even react to that.
Yeah,
Like, Franklin
right?
should have been like, Captain Sheridan. Like, hey, so
Like,
yeah,
did you? Like,
yeah.
huh?
No, maybe it's nothing, but it never hurts to run a few more tests.
Do so. If this is a trick, I'm going to take it
I
out
feel
of
like
somebody's hide.
after Ship of Tears, that should raise a
It's
big
not.
red flag for them.
And that really is Anna? I have to know, Stephen.
Yeah. Suzanne's right. See that little thing at the nape of her neck?
it
She's
her?
probably a Gould.
Is it?
Don't know.
You don't know.
Unless she Jolinard into
You
her.
and Kosh came to my quarters. You showed me images from Zahadum of Anna and the crew of the Icarus waking up the shadows. You gave me every reason to believe she was dead. Now, how could you do that when you didn't know for sure?
Those who would not serve the shadows were killed. That we knew without question. We assumed she would not serve. Perhaps we were wrong.
Anna would never work for those things.
Then she was killed.
I have no explanation.
You have no explanation.
Have you ever been in a spot where somebody is so upset, but it's also 100% an emotional response on their part, and you understand the emotion behind it, so you kind of give them a pass?
Give him some room. Yeah.
You do. Like, look, you sit there and yell at me, I'll talk to you about this, but also, like, it takes a strong person to not take it personal, and honestly, an even strong person to be like, okay, you need to slow your roll. You know what I mean? Like, you're yelling at the wrong person here.
Yeah.
'Cause John is in the wrong here. Delenn is not.
Nope.
Delenn is not. They made a reasonable conclusion. I'm not even gonna say assumption. They drew a reasonable conclusion, and actually, they were still right.
Yeah. Because it really let's just break it down. They either worked for the shadows or they died.
Yeah.
So she would never work for the shadows. So what does that mean, John? That means she would be dead, right? Is she dead? No. Well, there's only one option left.
Yeah. Or there's something else that we didn't consider, that we didn't know about. It's not like I kept it hidden from you.
Yeah. Told you everything that I knew.
Delenn, our Delenn, says that Delenn in the show has a habit of taking accountability for the actions of others. 100% agree. Might be left over from her guilt of the war from 10 years ago. She does carry guilt that I think doesn't belong to her. But yeah, I don't know if that's the why, but I do agree with her. She does have a habit of taking accountability that is actually not hers to take.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's actually a good thing to do.
I agree.
That's it? Oh, damn it, Delenn. I have always felt that you were holding out on me on a couple of things. I figured you had your reasons, but this? I mean, if you weren't sure if there was even a chance of her being alive, why the hell didn't you tell me?
Because you would have gone to Zahadum after her. Couldn't allow that.
You couldn't allow it.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't the best answer on her part.
No,
Delenn.
it wasn't.
I cared for you. I let myself start to love you. Do you know what that means? Do you know how hard that was for me?
I let you watch me sleep.
All along, a little part of me was still in love with Anna. Even though she was gone, I had to fight that part off.
Man.
Every time I thought about you, about
About
holding
you.
you, about building a life for the two of us.
Good save there, John.
John, you must believe me. I didn't know she was alive. We assumed that she had died with the rest of the crew of the Icarus, that only Morden had survived.
Hey, you know what happens when you assume?
Yeah.
How'd you know?
You make a but.
Would you have told me?
But.
No, she wouldn't have.
It would depend on what she had become. Doom is the home world of the shadows. No one leaves there the same as they arrived.
You would have denied me the right to make that choice.
Okay. If she was still alive and you knew, would you have told me? Delen's answer is, it depends on what she would have become. No one goes there and leaves the same. Sheridan goes, you deny me the right to make that choice. Who's right? What's the right here?
Neither and John. Like Sheridan and neither. I think ultimately he is. He's right. Because if I'm Delen, right, what I would expect ultimately is as soon as they started forming more of a meaningful relationship, it should have been, look, John, I need to tell you what actually happened to Anna. She got CP'd.
Assuming that they actually knew what happened to her. Yeah.
Which I have to assume they did. Andrew brings it up, and I've read this somewhere else before, but in the Technomage books, Kosh was in the Zahadum system recording everything that was happening with IPX.
Oh, really?
He knows exactly what happened to everybody on that ship. It's not, she doesn't get to conditionally decide what she's going to share and not share. Really, in them forming a relationship, this is a pretty serious betrayal, I think.
But then you throw into the thing, the whole, we have to keep Sheridan. It is paramount we keep Sheridan alive.
Is it though?
Well, we can argue that point, and I still don't necessarily know why we think that he's so paramount. Outside of he's one of the ones that we learned in War Without End. But outside of that, I don't really know what information they have that would require, because again, I go back to, what was it, Long Twilight Struggle, or the one before that, where Sheridan's jumping out of the thing and Delenn like, gosh, you know what's at stake. You know why he's so important and why we have to keep him. Go, right? It's that same thing here of, it's really important that you don't die. It's really important that you stay safe. If somebody is that important, if giving them this information might mean that they go do that, isn't there a bigger need that outweigh the needs of the many, I guess, outweigh the need of this one to actually have that choice? Or to risk telling you that.
To risk it, possibly. But I think what we learn in this episode, and then we also learned in Comes the Inquisitor, is there's always going to be one to come behind. There's no one single person, which actually is pretty contrary to what happens when there's just like says to Kosh, dude, you best whip it out because it's him. Like there's an incongruency there that's interesting.
Again, that's where I can only sit back and go, it had to not necessarily be something that John does as much as just who he is in his status as an Intel Za, as one of the ones, which frankly, I think is kind of weak.
Same.
I think it's kind of weak. But I also like Katerina's comment in our chat over here with our council chambers. Also, Delenn might just want him to not die.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't want you to die. And frankly, I don't know you or trust you enough right now. And I don't, also wind it back. I just met you. I didn't know you well. I knew I had to keep you alive, but I didn't know you well enough to know.
Right. See, I just met you and this is crazy.
Yeah.
Here's my number. So call me maybe.
Call me, oh
but
my gosh.
This is the thing. But I think that honestly, that little thing is a thing. Up until the point they started developing a romantic relationship, she can do whatever the heck she wants. Keep whatever she wants from him, make any decisions she wants. Like, that's fine. She is a Vorlon influenced and taught person. She's going to manipulate the things that happen around her. That's what the Minbari do. It's what the Vorlon do. 100%. The minute they started becoming romantically involved and connecting, she's over here being like, I'm going to tell you about my dad. I'm going to be vulnerable and tell you this stuff. Also, I kind of know what's going on with your wife over here, but I'm
she didn't.
still gonna.
I mean, if she did, I guess. If she did, this is all under this is not what really happened with Delenn.
I think the right answer in this case here from her, if you knew, would you have told me? I would have told you. If I knew, I would have told you once as we were becoming serious. When I was Setai Delenn, the Great Council, no, I'm not telling you anything. I'm looking at galactic stakes.
I don't know that she should have told him as they were becoming romantic. There is a point in their relationship where perhaps that needs to come to light, but I don't know that it's right as they become romantic.
Not as, but before she's watching him sleep.
Possibly. And listen, we're going to move on with the episode, but I love the conversation that's happening. People talking about Sheridan and his protected status, shall we say. But you and I know something about Sheridan that Delenn doesn't.
How can you say that?
Sheridan's got plot armor,
me to ever
so
trust
he'd
you
be fine.
again.
It's gonna be fine.
Okay, does Sheridan know at this point that that's not Anna?
If you believe nothing
I don't think he
else,
does. I think he's
I never
questioning.
Okay, I want to know at what point he figures it out.
Please
And
believe
then
that.
I want to be on that side of it with him as he goes forward. Because this is not a Londo Vera situation where he has to make her believe that he's pissed off at her.
No, yeah.
Where Londo had to make Vera believe that they were going after Natoth.
Another drink. Londo, you've been like this ever since the diplomatic pouch arrived this morning.
I will say, though, I do appreciate Delenn. Not Delenn because she's Delenn, but Delenn following the Minbari Vorlon way of things, facing some consequences for that. We saw a little bit of that when she was talking to Jakar and was like, hey, we knew stuff that we didn't tell you about. Consequences. And then this actual personal consequences because she was doing the Minbari thing.
Yeah.
Which is the
also
Vorlon thing.
Don't forget to go and confess to somebody that you're really close to and you have a good thing going with, knowing that it could actually destroy the thing that you have going with that person. That's a little hard to do.
Yeah, but it's also super important to do.
It's important. It's the right thing to do, but it's also really hard to do. And Delenn's still a really new human with lots of stuff, and she's trying to figure all that out. So I feel like we can give her a little bit of grace. Our council chambers is saying that Sheridan understood when he got the report from Franklin. Are we talking about the report he just got in Med Lab, and so he knows right now, or is there a report to come that I don't remember?
I think there's a report to come. I think he looks at it. I think I remember that scene.
I'm giving them 13 seconds to answer.
They did. Ben just did.
Which hasn't happened yet. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah.
All right,
At least you can do is tell me what's wrong.
Oh,
Look at man, council chambers to the rescue over here, dude. I love you.
Time and
guys.
time again.
He's been promoted.
I've been offered a position in the royal court as an advisor to Emperor Katagia in matters of planetary security.
Gould.
Yep,
Gould,
exactly.
Gould.
Computer moves all slow and dramatically. Those are their actual wedding photos.
Love that. But Anna doesn't have implants.
No, but she's got the markings.
Ports on the back.
Yeah. She had them, and they line up with what Sanderson had.
So they sucked them out. Okay. And so Franklin went to Sheridan with that.
Yeah.
We're to understand.
So right now,
in that little cut scene, Sheridan knows.
Yeah, right now he's looking at her. He knows
I
she's
don't
Shadow.
think I have ever been examined in such detail.
I disagree with that,
Except
given the procedures you've been through.
at least his
And
report
what we've
confirms
been
that I
through.
am who I say I am.
The thing is, she is who she says she is.
And you've been on Zahadum all these years.
No threats, no ultimatums, just an invitation to come and hear their side of the story. Nothing more.
That's a lie.
Why would you go back there?
They've got
I'm going to
pie.
assume that's a lie.
Because it's my home now. I'm doing important work. You'll understand when we get there.
No, I'm not going anywhere until I get some answers. I want to know what happened to you and the crew of the Icarus when you landed on Zahadum.
John,
That's my condition. Just tell me that much.
And you'll go with me to Zahadu?
Maybe.
I'll go.
As soon as we landed, we picked up an energy source. We were told to check it out. And that's where we found them.
Who's this, Brent? Who is this?
It's a Reaper. Or
Harbinger.
The Shadow.
I have assumed control.
It's a very dramatic name, but not a very descriptive one. Their actual name is 10,000 letters long. I couldn't pronounce it if I tried.
Now I need you to take care of this for me. No questions, no speculations, no hunches, or educated guesses. And when I see you next, if everything is said, we'll talk about the weather.
This is the thing. Go ahead. What now?
All right, so to me, it is crystal clear.
Yeah.
On the second watch, his mission is simply to load the nukes.
Yeah.
And I think he's in here. He's got the whole plan. This all flew over my head the first time. Get all the Minbari off. Why are you just being a jerk to Delenn now? Like, what is that? Nope. I need everybody off the ship because I'm going to go get it, and I need nukes put onto it. But the other thing that stands out to me, this kind of recolors Garibaldi's response to him when he comes back as the Messiah Sheridan.
Okay.
Because what we just watched, and we'll see here and again, is Sheridan's like, look, man, I know this isn't cool. I need you to not say anything. I need you to trust me on this. It's all good. Garibaldi went out on a line for him, took a big risk doing this.
And got bit in the ass for it.
And then Sheridan comes back and he's all, look at me and Lorianne. We're doing some cool stuff over here. And Garibaldi's like, yeah, I was literally in a prison. Like
my mind was getting jacked.
Yeah. And I, all because I trusted you, did this thing. Like, come on, man. All right.
Let me, I want to rewatch this. I didn't even realize that's what he was talking about in the moment. This is a thing that is only clear based on future knowledge.
Yeah.
Not knowing what's coming.
No way we could have known any of this.
No.
Nope.
Even when the White Star drops the nukes, maybe you could be like, oh, that's the thing he had Garibaldi doing. Except we see Garibaldi doing something else, like flying out in the cruiser, which leads you to which I think is a reasonable, like some people might think it's this, some people might think it's that, and both are reasonable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Here's my question though. Outside of just having to keep the secret for us as the audience, why is Sheridan being so cryptic about what he's saying and not saying, like he's speaking as if the room is bugged?
He doesn't have a door on his office.
Right.
For once, he's finally acknowledging that. And like, maybe I should kind of be a little about this.
Little circumspect about how I'm doing this here, right? It's kind of neat hearing him say this though, knowing what it is and understanding Garibaldi looking at that going, son of a bitch. Like, really?
Yeah.
That's what you want? Okay. But right now, if you're a first time watcher and you don't know what that is, you're trying to, what it is, you're examining everything that happens, trying to figure out what that thing is.
There's a thread that goes from Jakar saying, hey, look at these cool bombs, to Sheridan using the cool bomb. And in the middle is this scene that if you're not specifically watching for this stuff, you're not going to get that connect. But some people were specifically watching for this and did. That's cool.
Yeah. Katerina asks if maybe the shadows are there, listening, invisible.
Super reasonable. He knows that the shadows around Morden. He knows Anna's shadowed, there. So it's stand to reason.
Yeah. So he's on offensive mode at this point, which is I like offensive Sheridan here.
Yeah.
First time watcher. Sheridan is planning something. Yeah. And he just gave Garibaldi a secret missing. Dude, he is.
If you go to Zahadum, you will die.
Oh, it's a good thing they didn't throw that costume away.
This is his transformational scene from John Sheridan to John Rambo.
Or John Newcomb Sheridan. Look, he is a man of resolve.
Message for Ambassador Delenn.
Yeah, he is already on Zahadum. He's there.
His mind is, yeah. And he's very, if I die, I die. Like that's where he is right now. If I die, I die.
Yep.
Is there a problem? No?
He is the arrow loosed from the bow.
Heard a weather report from Earth. They've had a late winter, but it finally started snowing in New York.
Well, it must be very pretty there this time of year.
Yes, sir. Must be.
Take care, Michael.
John is saying goodbye right now.
You too.
Yep.
And Garibaldi seems to, oh, there we go. Garibaldi knows he's going off, right? That's what that is. So he leaves.
Yeah, Garibaldi's got the whole thing at this point.
Yeah.
Are you sure you can run this thing by yourself?
I think so. I've watched them whenever we've gone out.
Oh, this is why he needed them to get the
So as long as we don't run
people
into any
off.
trouble, we should be fine.
You're guaranteed safe passage.
Well, then let's get this show on the road.
Am I guaranteed safe passage, or are
Next
you
stop.
guaranteed safe passage?
Hey, I got a question. You're a captain. You're a captain on board a ship. Do you give up your seat for your wife?
Nope.
When she comes on the bridge with you?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Do you let her sit on your lap?
Heck yeah. I'll let her sit wherever she wants.
Hey, now this is a family-friendly show, bro.
Just saying. Because even though I'm captain of this ship, it still belongs to whomever. Like, I'm still serving.
What report?
There's a problem with Anna.
And now he's cluing us as the viewer in. JMS, I'm tracking what you're doing, dude. Tracking what you got me the first time. You're not going to get me this time.
The entrance is up ahead.
This is a big shuttle. Look at those tires.
That's like 747 taking two people.
Yeah.
You know, no. Just get you a little private executive jets. Hey, do shadows and Vorlons breathe the same atmosphere?
Kosh was in an atmospheric thing. Morden had to put on a breather when they went and killed him.
John, I'll need your gun.
John's got two guns.
Right then he's like, oh yeah, that's not my wife. She'd know that I had another gun.
They designed this part of the complex specifically for us.
was.
No, not that door. This one.
JMS points out that that doesn't mean anything.
What doesn't mean anything?
Not that door. Like, people are like, well, what's behind the door? Is that supposed to be a thing? Was that Nope, they're just trying to show, like, there's a lot here, and Sheridan's being curious. There's nothing to it.
Dude, he gets real close to her right there.
In his notes, JMS confirms right here that Justin is the man in between.
What does that mean?
Well, like, he is, did I get it in here? He's the middleman. He's the one that brokers between Sheridan and the shadows.
Then who's Morden?
Well, you can also look
What's
at it
Morden
this
do?
way. He's the man in between Morden and Sheridan. Look where he's standing. He's literally the man in between.
The man in between is looking for you, they said.
I'm making some tea. It's chamomile, but I can make something else if you like. It helps me.
Anna is on a different level, and by that I mean lower than Justin and Morden.
I think it goes Justin, Morden, way down here is Anna. Because
Anna's
Anna's
like Justin, Morden, and then all of those pilots, one of which is Anna. They just happen to pluck her out for this thing. And it's not even Anna.
Exactly. She's not even a human. I mean, a person, really. She's a program. Greetings, program.
Who decides that the work day is from 9 to 5 instead of 11 to 4?
You know what's cool about that?
Huh.
Dude busts in here, right? First question he asks, he has to ask it twice. Who are you?
That's incredible.
Who are you?
That is such a great observation.
First question he asks.
And they don't even respond to it.
Right?
Who decides that the hemlines will be below the knee
And
this
the answer,
year
Justin, is the unions
and
decided
short
it would be
again
9 to 5.
next year?
What if that future happened because I listened to your warning and didn't go to Zahadum? What if
What if this is your fault?
That's what he's saying.
Fall of Centauri Prime and end the Shadow War by going there?
1 out of 2 ain't bad.
What I want
Dude, she's taken a serious raft of crap
stay
from him
alive.
this episode.
to be with you. But you were right before. This is about more than what I want. So I'm going, even though I know it's almost certainly a trap.
And headed off toward greener pastures.
Okay, we've already heard this part before.
So far, it's all lining up.
There's all the first ones, and they left, leaving, but 2. Did we know it was just 2, or was it just some?
We knew it was 2. We knew it was
What
the
did we
Vorlons
know?
and the
Okay,
Shadows.
so we knew it was 2. They stayed behind. What we were to help, to help the other. Well, no, because I don't think we knew that they both stayed behind to help. I think it's 2 stayed behind. The Vorlons stayed behind to fight the shadows and protect.
Vorlons stayed behind to help shepherd the younger races. The Shadows stayed behind to make that hard for them and to cause chaos. That's what we heard.
That's what we heard from Delenn way back when, or
So up,
Lanier.
literally up to that point, everything lines up. It's the Shadow version.
Okay.
You might call them. They wanted to look after the younger races, bring them around, help them evolve into something better.
One of these was the Vorlons. The other was what you call the Shadows.
So just to point out, the Vorlons vilified the Shadows in the reveal. They're not vilifying the Vorlons. They're like, hey, we both stuck around to try and help shepherd them.
Okay, but I'm telling you, I don't believe that's why at this point, as I'm watching the show, I don't believe that's why. I could believe that's why the Vorlons stuck around. I don't believe that's why the Shadows stuck around.
Oh yeah, we didn't believe that this is all the first time around.
I still don't believe it.
Didn't buy any of this.
Yeah.
They want to release our potential, not bottle it up.
It's really simple.
See,
You
okay,
bring
pause.
2 sides together.
That sounds like BS to me.
Yeah?
Hearing that. They believe that strength comes from whatever. They want to release it, not bottle it up. Okay, I can sit here and tell you now, knowing what I know now, yes, that's their culture. That's what they believe. Almost very Spartan like. Right? If you're not strong, you die.
Right.
The weak die. Period. Done. Again, I'm listening to it as I'm watching this simultaneously as a guy who knows what's going on, but I'm also remembering my first response as well. And I still that does not justify what they're doing to me.
Okay.
According to my code.
Yeah.
According to my
Well, and it's not going to, because you think the Shadows are the bad guys.
Yeah.
So it's not going to align with your code. And I think that's the part of the point, is it's not supposed to.
Yeah.
I think in the Western world today, this isn't how we do things. I mean, it is, but we never say that it is how we do things. I think that this totally made sense to me the first time around, where it's like, oh, okay, yeah, they're starting all of these wars with everyone against everyone because then they're the only ones left are the strong, and they will grow and evolve and they'll do the things.
Well, I mean, it's very Darwinian when you look at it that way. Survival of the fittest, right?
Essentially.
Right. Well, let's create the conflict that's going to weed out the others. Like I again, sitting at this spot, I get it. I understand. But even listening to her here, what it sounds like is a bully who is trying to justify their bad actions. It sounds like, I know somebody's going to think that I'm talking about somebody specific, but I'm really not. I'm speaking in the most general terms because I'm talking about all of history. A political leader, a military leader trying to justify their bad actions by saying, we're trying to make you strong. We're trying to, it's a parent who abuses their kid under the guise of, I'm trying to make you stronger. That's the way it sounds to me. Even now, that's the way it still sounds to me. But I guess there's enough Star Trek in me that can respect that different people have different cultures in different ways, and that legit might be the way the shadows are thinking.
So I think they're not a bully. They're the ones empowering the other bullies. Like they're not fighting the Centauri-Drazi conflict. They're getting the Drazi to attack the Centauri and Centauri to attack them. Like they're starting the fights and starting it in a way where everyone feels justified in their fight. Yeah. I think what it all boils down to is Justin used the term Lords of Order.
Yeah.
Lords of Chaos.
Listen, and I get that. And I know that's where JMS is going. And I understand what he is trying to say is neither are good.
Exactly.
Like, and neither are necessarily bad. Like, I understand, people hear me. I understand that's what he's trying to say. I still am having and no, I'm not going to sit here and say that manipulating anybody is a good thing, but Justin even just said it. The Vorlons are like your parents. They want to see you like, am I wrong in doing anything with my kids and trying to teach them how to be better people? And
if you're doing that when they're in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, and you're still treating them like they're 7 or 8, I think that's what Justin is saying. They're like your parents parenting you now, not appropriately. You never stop parenting your kids, right? But
I was going to say, like, yeah. I don't know. My mom tried something on me the other day. I'm also enough of a grown up to be like, okay, Mom, stop.
Yeah.
I don't think it was ever easy, but you can't let that get in the way of the dream.
Commander, I'm picking
what
up
is
a
the dream?
disturbance.
Right. On Lurker's Guide, I kind of got to the end of this a little bit, but because we're in the middle of the conversation, I'm going to bring it up now. But somebody said, the Vorlons in the shadows don't seem to know who they really are or what they really want. JMS said, that's an extremely good and cogent analysis, and you hit the theme right on the head. One will explore more in year 4 with the Vorlon shadow situation, and which was first hinted at in Infection. Right in the first season, the first episode that was shot, Sinclair says, in the ultimate moment in that conflict, you forgot the first rule of the fanatic. When you become obsessed with the enemy, you become the enemy. Yeah. And that's exactly what's happening here with these two, the Vorlons in the shadows.
So to that, okay, is I want to now ask, when did because presumably, let's just go with the good guys, the Vorlons, what I call the good guys. When did the Vorlons become obsessed with the shadows to where they became? Was it a long time ago, or was it when they killed Kosh and they went back crazy?
I'm going to guess this was a while ago.
I'm going to guess too. I would agree with you on that. I also would agree with the analysis because I seem to remember this is what Sheridan comes up with later when we get into that in the next season is you guys have been fighting this so long, you forgot what you're actually doing. Yeah. Like this isn't like, hey, so you started doing this to help improve the younger races. Okay, cool. It eventually stopped becoming about that and just about proving that you're better than the other or your way was better than the other. And it actually wasn't about the races anymore. That's when I would agree both were wrong. And I'm going to come down on that side. I still think the Vorlon way is better, but when it's not, and again, this goes back to, Jeff, this is something I don't know that we talk about this all the time, but I talk about this in other things. It's not necessarily what you do, it's why you do in almost every situation.
We've talked about that here quite a bit.
It's not what you do, it's why you do. You can go out and do this thing. Why are you doing it? For the better. Hey, listen, I'm going to cause you to get in fights. I'm going to train you up. I'm going to help. You're going to become bigger. You're going to become better. You're going to become stronger. And you're not going to believe the man you're going to turn into by the time I'm done with you. I'm doing this for you. As soon as I start doing it for me, now my motivations are wrong. I could be doing the exact same thing, but my motivations are wrong. And I can agree that that's where the Vorlons are wrong.
I actually don't.
In the shadows.
I actually don't think that it went even further. They're not doing the same thing. In the story, we hear that like 10,000 years ago, there was this really big war. And then 1,000 years ago, there was a war. Like, what was the big break? What was happening then? I think the Vorlons were doing their thing.
Yeah.
The shadows were doing their thing. There was no Vorlon shadow war. But somewhere in those 9,000 years, it changed. And they're like, you suck. And the way you're doing this sucks. And we're going to beat you. And we all became just playthings. We were caught in the middle.
Can I amend what you're saying? Because I love what you're saying. I just want to amend what you're saying. It's not that they went, you suck, and the way you're doing it sucks, as much as they went, I'm doing it better than you are, and I'm better than you.
Yep, you're right. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that I will cop to. That I will come to. But I go back to the method through which they choose to do it. I think the shadows method makes them inherently evil. Because they're not doing it to train. They're doing it anyway.
Yeah.
That's a whole different
I also think the
conversation.
Vorlons are inherently evil.
I don't think they're inherently evil. I think maybe they went bad. They lost their way. They lost their way, Ben, as he says over here. They lost their motivations. Their motivations got all screwed up. And that's when you go. Bye-bye.
Location?
All around us.
Red alert! Red alert!
I'm sorry, because we're in this conversation. Becky in her conversation says, I still don't agree that one version of authoritarianism being better. Obey is never a good demand. I 100% agree. When Kosh turns around and looks at Sheridan, he's like, oh, disobedient, petulant, obey. That's not cool. But that's also not order. Again, that's about you. That's about your way. That's not about teaching and helping. And again, that goes back to your motives, right? I see this a lot in circles that I run with things of, a lot of times parents expect their kids to obey and obey now. And they say delayed obedience is still disobedience. And I cannot disagree with that more. Delayed obedience is actually still obedience. That's why it's called obedience.
Yeah. But I think that's where I'm going to say it a little different way, where it's not a spectrum of Vorlons on this side, shadows on this side. It's a circle, and they're right next to each other. Just one is like, we're going to make you fight, and we're going to tell you exactly what to do. And the spectrum actually comes around. They're both horrible and evil, and they completely stifle any real independent growth.
There it is.
We see this. We see it with the Minbari. As I was saying earlier, the Minbari, Delenn, is doing exactly what a Vorlon would do. Not because it's who she is or who the Minbari are, but because of the way the Vorlon have manipulated them. They're both as evil as each other. It's just one is wrapped in wrapping paper, the other is wrapped in sandpaper.
And Jeff, I think you bring up the perfect example of where the Vorlons really miss the mark, because Minbari society or society.
There you go.
Minbari society is based and really tries to play with the Vorlon mentality.
Yeah.
The Minbaris consider themselves not one of the ancient races, but they're certainly one of the older races. They're not as young as the Earthers are. They are better. They're more mature. They are the way that we should all aspire to be. And that's the way we first viewed them when we first met them back in season 1. You and I, hey, they're like the, okay, here we go, guys. Sorry. They're like the Vulcans. And the Vulcans are, but what happens in Star Trek when we really get to know the Vulcans?
Yeah,
Vulcans are messed up, jacked up dudes. You don't want to be like them. In fact, it's way better to just be human. And here, what do we see about the Minbari? The Minbari are not something to be emulated. The Minbari are not a society that is advancing. They're not a society they are actually stifled.
Yeah, they are, as Katerina says, nothing more than obedient children. That's all they ever are. And then when they're left to their own, right, through the Vorlon, through Valen, right, because he had the Vorlon with him. So the Vorlon through Valen gave them a structure to their society. And as soon as that society fell apart, they have no idea what to do.
Yeah. And what's great is we get to the end of the whole thing, and Delenn and Sheridan are in that little shuttle flying away. And what do they say? Hey, it's our time to figure this out.
It's our time.
It's our
down
time.
here.
Our time down here.
All fighter squadrons launch, but do not approach until authorized to fire.
Right now, the shadow ships here are the Gom Jabbar to Sheridan back on Zahadum, just waiting to prick if he messes up.
I'm sorry, the Gom Jabbar?
From Dune.
Human struggle.
Sure.
6,000 years of recorded wars. We never would have come this far if we hadn't been at each other's throats, evolving our way up.
See, he believes this.
Yeah, he's all in.
Between our side and the Vorlons.
They've manipulated us so we'd respond favorably to them. At a genetic level, taking humans and adjusting them.
I think it's the first time we hear that.
They made telepaths! They made telepaths!
No way!
I know what he's talking about. I know what he's talking about.
They created telepaths on 100 worlds to use as cannon fodder for the next war. But fortunately, our friends got there first, and with the help of the Psi Corps, made sure that they came out on our side.
They told us that now?
Yeah.
They told us that now?
Yeah, we
didn't have to wait for Byron.
We didn't need Byron at all. We didn't need him at all. We had it right here.
We knew that now?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Tell me. You, Jeffrey Akin, you tell me, look me in my eye. You tell me that you remembered and knew the Vorlons turned humans and created telepaths from this point here, not from when Byron said it.
Oh, yeah. Very much from here. Very much from here. In fact, I think we even talk in season 4 around them specifically being made as weapons. Like it was all part of the plan. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, though. This episode is the first time we've ever heard the word Zahadum, so...
I don't believe that. I would swear the first time we heard that the Vorlons created the telepaths and that they did it as weapons against the shadows was when Lita and Byron were banging and did the weird thing and they had the vision and all of that happened. I would swear on a stack of Bibles that's when we found that out.
Pretty sure we got it at this point.
Well, of course we did. We just saw it.
Yeah, it was on the screen. It's right there.
Andrew says, I wish I was Brent. Then I could see this show for the first time, the second time I watch it. Andrew, that's what Jeff says at the beginning of every single one of these episodes.
I get to watch
this is the only show you could watch for the first time twice. I need a minute, Jeff.
Ben, for a good minute, I thought Brent was just being sarcastic.
You can't. I'm tapping my foot right now. I cannot believe it was this early.
Yeah.
Cannot believe it was this early.
And I think we'd even guessed a little bit at it. We didn't like, oh, this is what happened, but we had been like, I think maybe.
But to have it, I mean, Jeff, this isn't even hinted at. This is laid bare open on the table. Here's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I remember when I watched this the first time, I didn't believe a word they were saying.
Right, that's true.
I thought it was all horse hockey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was certainly discounting it then. I told you all I couldn't wait to get to the scene to see what.
Yeah.
Because I know they're speaking truth now, and oh my gosh.
Everything depends on getting the other races to fight each other, to create conflict in order to promote growth and evolution. By getting them to cooperate, you are working against that goal.
Okay. That is manipulation, is it not? No. I know we talk about the Vorlons and the evil Vorlons because they're manipulating everybody to follow their way and do their thing. Is this not also manipulation?
No, I think she's saying exactly what it is.
No, we've got to get them to fight each other. We've got to get them to get in wars with each other. We've got to manipulate them so they fight each other.
Oh, the shadow. I thought you meant them manipulating John.
No.
Yeah, they're manipulating. Of course, yes. Of course, they're manipulating. Okay. That's what they've always.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because here's where my brain is right now. Is John about to basically become the villain of the story by setting off nukes here on the Shadow homeworld?
Oh.
Because if the shadows aren't wrong, I mean, can we at least say the shadows are still wrong? Like the Vorlons might be wrong, but the shadows are definitely wrong too.
Yeah, they are both wrong. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the shadows are still evil.
Yeah, just like the Vorlons. Yes.
I look in her eyes, and the woman I love, the woman I married,
not there.
Isn't there. She would never go along with this.
You're right. Just so.
I like his approach
when
here.
She came here 5 years ago, she was given a choice, the same choice that we're giving you.
She said no.
She made the mistake of choosing badly.
You stuck her in one of those ships, didn't you?
They don't see him reaching for his gun.
A few months ago, we intercepted a ship full of people who were going to be merged with the Shadow vessels. They had implants in the brainstem right back here. Scars in the back of her head are in exactly the same place.
Our associates needed fresh bodies for the central processing units in their ships.
Our associates.
We pulled her out as soon as we found out who she was and who you are. But once you've been inside of one of those ships for a while, you're never quite whole again. But you do what you're told.
That's a very Vorlon thing to say.
You'll do what you're told?
You do what you're told. Obey. Obey.
Well, because again, they're really only this far from each other on the spectrum.
And she'll obey, and so will you, he says.
You.
Uh-oh.
Commander!
Apparently it takes 4 PPG shots to kill a shadow.
Or he's just
a shadow
unloading.
sentient. Fear Justin's eyebrows, Andy says. That's right.
Yeah, we missed about 20 minutes of some stuff.
Right?
There is a Shadow City.
Thermal fusion system armed for detonation.
It's like now that we got more white stars, I can just turn one into a bomb.
John, come back inside. We can work this out. But I can love you as well as she did.
That's pretty messed up.
Right.
Probably the wrong approach there, Anna.
I heard what you said when I left. And I want you to know that I love you, Delenn.
She looks like she's about to scream and bust up all the dilithium in the universe.
And see, because
no, he said now.
Yep.
He said now.
Yeah, not in a second.
Go.
Now.
Obey. Obey. Disobedient. Petulant.
And you see, because Kosh is with him, he's not alone. He lives. Also because he
dies.
Has a
Sheridan
thing to
dies.
show. He does, but then he lives.
Sheridan dies here. Sorry, Laura.
Like something Nellie would do to her.
We hardly knew you.
They're leaving. I don't get it.
Or the ultimate threat. That's because of her telepathy.
I think so, yeah.
It was the end
even
of
the
Earth
weakness.
year 2260, and the war had paused suddenly and unexpectedly.
Hold on. I'm going to start this over because I want to share a thing that'll color this a little bit for us. Andreas did 2 takes on this read, and they used the first of the 2. Took JMS about 15 minutes to write this. Just came out.
Okay.
Came to him word for word as he drifted to sleep one night. And Andreas always liked the quote. This is the thing that I want us to know as we go in. When Andreas died, his wife played this speech at the end of the memorial video that had been put together at his funeral.
Aww. Now I want to see that whole video.
I know. So I want us to listen to this is the lens of Babylon 5 end of season 3, but also like Andreas Katsoulis' life.
The war we fight is not against powers and principalities. It is against chaos and despair. Against this peril we can never surrender. The future.
I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt this. That to me looks like he intentionally got himself hooked up by those things.
It is all around us, waiting in moments of transition to be born in moments of revelation. No one knows the shape of that future or where it will take us. We know only that it is always born in pain.
Was that it?
That was it.
It was always born in pain, and then the episode dead.
I guess, yeah.
Huh. The edit on that must have been a little weird.
At least that's how ours ends.
Okay. What you thinking, Jeff?
I'm really thinking about that speech and like Andreas, anyone dying.
Mm-hmm.
And the story of our life being in moments of transition. Like there's a lot. That was a great closing monologue for the end of season 3. The moments of transition, like story wise, it makes sense. It shows the gravitas of what's going on. sets us up for the dark beginning to season 4 that we're about to head into. But I'm also like, that's us, you know, like I'm imagining right now being days away from a life-changing transition and knowing that it's coming, right? Someone in that position, and what that has to do, like impact every cell of their body, right? Like my life is about to change. When in the scope of your life, though, that's been your whole life. Transition after transition after transition. And the moments are the biggest thing ever. And then you step back and look, and it becomes just part of the story. And then when I apply that to Babylon 5, think of all of the transitions that we've experienced, right? Sinclair to Sheridan, and Bari Delenn to Hybrid Delenn.
Yeah.
Lucky, happy-go-lucky, drunk Londo to the worst person in the entire game. Like, so many of these transitions that were such big deals when they happen, but when we zoom out, it just gives us the entirety of this series. I think it'd be really easy for us to, oh my God, Nia just said a thing and it needs to come out. And some of us transition more than others. Some of us literally transition. And just imagine them. I'm just going to put this out there. I cannot even imagine, but imagine knowing that you're about to like go under, and when you wake up, everything's going to be different for you. Like, I can't even, like, oh my God, what a thing. What a thing. It'd be really easy right now for you and I to start saying, going into the specifics, did we know about the telepaths at this point? Let's talk about this. But really, I'm just stuck looking at the entirety of Babylon 5 and how, like, Picard just encapsulated it with incredible words that popped out of JMS's mind in 15 minutes, and he just railed off just to perfection. That little JMS speaks thing changed the entire ending of this episode for me. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking about something that they said, Morden said to Sheridan. I forget the exact words, but effectively he was like, hey, listen, you're the only thing stopping us. You're the danger to us. He said, what always happens every time we do this, you know, we pop out of the ground, we kick over some anthills, someone always rises up and unites the people.
They attempt to. He's the first one to do it.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't done it yet.
Oh, he has, though. That scene last week when Ivanova and Marcus are out there in the White Star thinking this is it for them, and then the jump point opens and it's the Drazi, it's the Minbari, it's like everybody.
Okay. All right, I'll give you that. I was thinking more of the ISA, which is still like a couple years away from fully getting formed. But he says, but regardless, somebody's going to come up, they're going to unite the people. I actually got the feeling that people have united the people before, which is what pushes them back down and stops them. But when you unite the people, why is that? Why is it when people unite? Hey, world, listen to me right now. Why is it when people unite, those that are just trying to kick over anthills lose? The bullies lose. The people trying to manipulate us lose. The people trying to get us to obey lose. Why is it that, hey, Jeff, C-level person, you, why is it folks like you are scared of the unions? What happens in this case? You unite the people, and what stops?
The bad things.
The wars.
The bullying.
We stop fighting. We stop fighting amongst ourselves. We stop the wars. We stop fighting amongst ourselves. The conflicts go, right? You also start allowing people to have their freedom to develop and to go as they see fit, right? You can have shared values, sure. You can say, when we're in this context and this is how we're going to act and these are the things we're going to behave, but outside of that, have at it, pal. Do your own thing. That is what defeats these people. And that's why they're scared of him. All they're asking him to do is to stop trying to unite the people. Stop trying to unite the people. What if, Jeff? Hey, all you social media folks out there. What if, instead of spending our social media time, our social media page, our social media currency on reposting ways that guy sucks, reposting ways about why our guy is amazing, reposting ways about why that person should be brought up on charges or whatever. What if we put our energy into doing the things that unite us as a people? Now, what does that look like? The thing is, I don't know. I don't know what that actually looks like in real life. One of those things I don't know that you really know what it looks like until you get into it and you start doing it. I'm not going to give directions to that here on this little YouTube podcast thing. I don't know what it looks like. In a couple episodes, we're going to hear Sheridan say some of the greatest words that I've ever heard. And that when I suggested it happen in real life, people flipped the freak out at me. Oh no, you can't do it. What if you just stop participating in the madness?
Yeah.
I'm not buying into it anymore. I'm not buying into it. That's not my enemy, right? I'm not. You guys can just keep going to this till you're blue in the face. I'm not buying into it. I'm prepared for the comments. I'm prepared for the feedback. It's okay. The danger of Sheridan was that he would unite the people. Jeff, what was the danger of Neo in the Matrix?
Same. You get all of the people together.
Yeah.
You know, it's fascinating. I think it's that way. We are designed, and this has been biologically tested. We are a communal species. We are meant to be with others.
Yeah.
And so when we are with others, we are stronger. Some people may call that community. Others may call it, I don't know, Jeremiah, for example, calls it the universe. Whatever it is, we're meant to come together. I think it's...
Humans form communities.
Exactly. This all gets, it's so powerful. And it's so...
Now get the hell out of my galaxy.
Yeah. Just, sorry. We're all about everybody, but you get out. But I think this is a thing. This is the true power of diversity, right? And we have, as a society, oversimplified diversity to a point that it's nothing anymore. It's a checkbox on some list at most. But real diversity is people coming together for a common cause. When about, oh my God, at the time that we record this, it's been 6 years ago, I ran for local public office. And when I did that...
Tell them that your campaign name. Or your slogan, your campaign slogan. It's so good.
Jeff Akin.
Why you lost. It's why you lost.
Actually, I'll tell you why I lost in a minute, but this campaign slogan is great. Jeff Akin is Akin for my city. Akin for my city. I had t-shirts, had everything.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
But when I went in, I was running against an incumbent. Not necessarily a popular incumbent, but just an incumbent. And I was asked in a couple spaces, why did I choose to run against him? And the way I answered that question, I was very clear from go. I'm not running against him. I'm running for my city. I remember one speech, and I actually wrote this out. It got published in our paper, and I loved it so much because there was a reporter who really had it in for me, and he called me after I put my thing into writing and sent it out, and he was just like, I just want to apologize. Like he totally did a mea culpa. It's like, oh, I guess I'm a jerk. And I'm like, yeah, you are a jerk. Paul, you just had, my website was Akin for Change, the number 4, akin4change something or other. So yeah. See, it just happens. It's a very natural thing. It's why it went. But they said, why are you running? I'm like, I'm not running against him. I'm running for my city. Why would I run against someone who has chosen to stand up and sacrifice their time for this city that I love, for this community that I'm a part of? I think what he's done for us is fantastic. I have a different approach, and I want to be here to serve my city. I'm here for my city. It has nothing to do with him. And I lost very much because of that. We are programmed with the messaging of that guy's bad, this guy's good, so he's my guy. You know,
and nothing that my guy can say or do
is ever wrong.
But even if it is, it's less wrong than that. Or he's not perfect.
Yeah. What do you expect from him?
I don't always like the things they say, but I do like his policies.
Yeah, doing the right thing.
That's my guy. Oh, but that guy over there, it doesn't matter what he says. He's wrong
all the time.
He's evil all the time.
Every time.
All the time.
And here's the secret.
I'm guilty of that too. To some extent, sometimes.
We all do. It's literally how we're programmed. Yeah. And I think like this is the thing. If somebody is raising their hand, this is what I learned running for office. If someone raises their hand and runs for office, they're messed up. You don't want them running anything. And so it's very much the people, all of the people are messed up. Care about the thing. And in this case, what we see in Babylon 5 in this story is Sheridan bringing the people together, not because his idea is better, not because the Vorlons are better than the Shadows or anything like that, bringing them together because I want all of us to be safe and be able to do the stuff that we do. I want that for us.
Yeah.
He has a line that comes up, I think it's in season 4 later on, where he's like, It's easy to unite people against a common enemy. The real challenge is going to see if we can unite them for a common good.
Yeah.
And he's not able to. They have to introduce the conflict to get people to come together.
Because that's the thing, right? Is you give people a common enemy. Make a people group bad and give them the common enemy. And when that common enemy is gone, to keep them united, you got to give them a new common enemy. And thus we get the poem that you quote to us so often.
Yeah,
Jeff.
exactly. First they came 4, and then they came 4, and then there was no one. And I think the part of that too is that, like what we talked about just a couple of weeks ago, or even last week, it's all kind of runs together for me right now. Instead of being against something, defining yourself by what you aren't, be for something. Define yourself by what you are.
Yeah. And you know, the thing is I've seen people try to run political campaigns like that.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
And it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
They ultimately have to go negative. You know, there was a whole movie that was based on that. I want to say it might have even been like Sandra Bullock or something, where like they were like a political advisor type person, like a campaign advisor. And the person was like, no, I'm not going negative. I'm not going negative. I'm not going negative. And they just reached a point where they're like, got to go negative.
Yep.
You know, yeah, man. But what if we could just unite?
Yeah.
And not sit back and say, I told you so. And not, you know, not hear the things that one says and only apply it to one side and then take offense at that, but actually understand that applying it to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Applying it to not just both sides, but all of the sides.
All of it.
All 63 of them that are out there. Applying it to all of it. Wow. What a freaking show this is, Jeff. What a show.
And the thing is, we haven't even scratched the surface of what we could be diving into and talking about in this thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, Jeff, something that's different this time for me is I'm getting to watch this one with friends.
Right.
I'm watching it with you. I'm watching it with all you folks on Council Chambers who are joining us live. Kind of metaphysically, I'm watching it with all of you on YouTube and Patreon who are watching this after the fact. It's amazing. It's a game changer for the show. And gosh, man. And I still can't believe that they laid out the telepath thing right here. Oh my word.
Word for word.
I'm probably going to watch this another time, and it's actually going to have been even in an earlier episode, to be honest with you. Jeff, I got to tell you, the more I get to know you, the more I find myself jealous of you.
Why?
Do what?
Why?
Oh, there's so many reasons. But the one thing I am not jealous of you about is the next thing that you have to do.
Dude, this is,
and I have no say in it.
Right, send your hate mail. This guy right here.
Right to Jeff. It's to Jeff doesn't care at gmail.com. Right. You, my friend, after this watch of this episode, have to take this and somehow place this into a ranking of season 3, and not just where Jeff thinks it should go, but this has to be objectively correct, 100% immutable, and it has to be definitive for everyone of all time and space. Jeff, you're placing this into our 100% completely accurate and definitive ranking of season 3 of Babylon 5, especially watching it for the second time. Our top 5 episodes, but I don't even know that I need to read 5. I think I might just need to read 3. In fact, I'll do the 5 just because. There's Ship of Tears, which is going to sadly find its way out of the top 5. There's Shadow Dancing, And the Rock Cried Out, War Without End, Parts 1 and 2, Messages from Earth, Points of Return, Severed Dreams, the trilogy that works together as one unit. Jeff, there's a lot of things you could do here right now, and you're the one who gets to make the call. You could even undo things that we've done in the past few weeks. Right. It's your call, my friend. What do you say? I do love that we have like 8 episodes in the top 5 right now.
I know. You know, I think in a real way, this is actually just part 3 to War Without End. So I can just...
yeah.
This one stands on its own. War Without End. Let's start there. Let's start with War Without End, which was the #1 episode on the season from our first time viewing. We talked about it when we watched that episode, but while it has connections through the series, it's also kind of a closed loop with Babylon Squared story. And it's amazing. It's I think it's the only one so far that like I was literally swearing when it was done because it was so good and just amazing television.
Also, you were very excited about you being right.
Again, yeah, I'm still quite excited about that. Messages from Earth, Point of No Return, Severed Dreams. I don't know that there is a better trilogy that exists in television. So good. I mean, it's incredible. What I really
really, I mean, you've got best of both worlds 1, 2, and family.
Yeah, family is.
And you're going to say this is better?
Yeah, I am, because that is.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Right, yeah,
you're
yeah.
not wrong. Sorry. You're
Family's
not
a
wrong.
great episode. It doesn't help the trilogy.
No,
it's actually a quadrilogy.
I don't. It's not really.
First Contact is part 4 of that series.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. What I really like about the trilogy is that it ends. Like it clearly goes on, but like there's a and now like yay for us. There's some stuff coming.
It's a act 1, act 2, act 3. There is a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a complete story.
Zahadum ends, but it doesn't end. It ends literally with just like, hey, so it's done. Pop! Punches you right in the face. And you're just like, that's it. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen? I don't know. I need some sort of closure. I need some sort of something after this. And the thing that I know is it's a little while till we get that closure. I'm measuring right now 2 things, and that is just the incredible messaging that exists in this episode. There's also a piece of just the lore, how this takes things from back here and makes it make more sense. It's now paved the road for things that we know is coming in the future. Like, not just like, hey, we're hinting at it, but no, this is where we're going. Like, there it is. But I'm
Jeff,
also,
I have a question.
Yes.
As you're in this vein, okay, what I'm hearing you say is a little bit of, but this episode doesn't end. It's almost incomplete. Okay. I hear what you're saying. Take a little side road with me for a second.
Okay.
Of the original trilogy, and you could even say of the entire franchise, but specifically the original trilogy, what is the best of the Star Wars movies?
Empire Strikes Back.
Why?
Because it doesn't have an ending. It leaves you wanting more.
It doesn't end. New Hope has a definitive end, right? They receive the
It
medals
was actually
whatever. Ha ha ha.
It was its own thing. Yeah.
Right. It wasn't intended to go on. It could. There was more story, but Return of the Jedi, we had the party at the Ewok village.
Yep.
At the end of Empire Strikes Back, all
party.
we see is Luke's getting his robot arm, and they're looking out the window, and craps happened. Right?
Oh yeah, we're on the same
So
page
it's
here.
on end.
We're on the same
Okay.
page here. I wasn't saying
All
it
right.
doesn't have an ending as a negative. I'm just pointing out differences at this point, which is where I get to where I'm trying to weigh my recency bias.
Yeah.
On this, and I think
It's hard, folks. I'm sorry, you don't understand how hard it is not to really fight against recency bias on stuff here.
I'm going to pat myself on the back because I think I did a good job with that on War Without End.
Yeah.
Fighting that, combining the trilogy did. And so weighing all of that together, it is pretty actually crystal clear to me where this episode goes. And just to reiterate, when y'all are pissed off and need to say something, is Jeff don't care at all at gmail@badnerds.com. Brent, Zahadum is the #1 episode of season 3, without question.
About 15 seconds ago, I posted something in the chat.
Oh, look at that.
It says #1.
Yeah, 100%.
I think I agree with you. Was this episode by itself better than even the entire trilogy of the Severed Dreams trilogy?
We said a thing.
That's a tough road. But what this episode has going for it is not just this one episode contained in of itself. There is 3 seasons of content before it that feed into why was it that Sleeping in Light was such a phenomenal series finale?
It literally culminated everything that happened before it. Everything.
And this episode has culminated not only everything in the season, but really things that went even further back. And it punches you in the face right as it ends and leaves you going, I need more. I need more. I need more. I didn't get to the end of Severed Dreams and sit there and have to go, I need a moment to collect myself.
Right.
Where am I? Like it didn't leave me there. It doesn't make it worse. But
no. Again, we said this a couple
crap,
times now. It's not that these are better. It's that they're ranked differently. And I think that's an important and very wishy-washy, wibbly-wobbly distinction, but it's one I make nonetheless. We said a thing, Brent, in the recap that Delenn put together for us that we played at the top of this.
I'm sorry, Jeff. Send all hate emails to jeff@akinforchange.com.
That was my campaign email address. It's all shut down now, but unless somebody
so that's where you
snagged
should
it,
send your hate emails.
right? But we said a thing in there that I think holds true here. Turns out this episode was mostly talking But you know what you and I love?
2 people in a room talking. In this case, 4 people in a room talking, but I'll take it.
Exactly. It's fantastic. Loved it.
Yeah, because it really was. It was Anna and John in a room talking. It was Delenn and John in a room talking. It was Delenn and Anna in a room talking. It was Franklin and Sheridan in a room talking. It was Garibaldi and Sheridan in a room talking. Like, you're right.
Ivanova and Jakar talking.
That's what this episode was. And man, you can get such great TV when that's what you're doing. The most meaningful TV. I don't disagree with you, Jeff. And even if I did, it wouldn't matter because this is objectively at 100% correct. I will give you an option. No, we'll save it. We'll save it for later. Well, Jeff, that's going to do it for Zaha Doom.
Season 3 as a whole.
It's in the bag. We got it. Next week, we got Hour of the Wolf. That's our next episode on deck. Jeff, Hour of the Wolf, season 4 premiere tells us what's going on next. What do you remember thinking about this episode? Like, was this a good episode? Bad? Like, where were you on this episode? What do you remember about it?
I remember that this was this felt so different than almost anything else that has happened in Babylon 5 to this point. I just remember, like, in my mind when I picture this episode, it's really kind of that open with Ivanova just really lamenting over everything that's going on. And the light in my head, the lighting is different. The tone and the music is different. Like, this is somber. There's nothing here to celebrate that's going on. Everyone's down. And I really feel that this does a fantastic job just kind of setting the stage for, we've got a couple of weeks of some pretty deep philosophical stuff that we're going to dive into in this. And then we pick up again, and go. But I really remember, like, my memory in this is anchored in the open with Ivanova and just like how everything is. What do you remember about it?
I generally like the season openers.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we meet Cartagia.
Yeah.
Who is so delightfully evil.
So great.
He's so great. He's so great. I remember that we meet, or not necessarily that we meet, but here's what really sticks out in my mind. I'm not going to put us in a box. I'm not going to tell us we can't do something before we do it. You know how we said that the trilogy here, even though they were individual episodes, they really made up one story. And by their powers combined, they were better than their individual parts. The first 6 episodes of this season might be the best 6-episode stretch I've ever seen of television in my life.
We go through the ranking here. In number 1, we have Hour of the Wolf.
All the way to Into the Fire, right? But seriously, like, they are the Vorlon Shadow War. They are that piece. And it brings a definitive conclusion, right? And this is where it kicks off. I honestly, you're gonna ask me each week what I remember about each episode, and I'm just gonna be like, it's a part of that group.
Right. Uh-huh.
So, and I kind of remember them all together is what I'm saying. But I do remember we meet Lorien, and we get John's out of it, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's just chilling in a cave. I do remember thinking the first time around, though, Jeff, is he dead or not?
Right.
Was he really dead or was he not? And I think I held on to that for quite a while. And I think it took people saying, no, he actually died. Like, he did die, and he then got brought back to life.
Well, he got caught between the tick and the talk.
But is that death or not?
It's the little death that runs through us.
Yeah. He died, and then he got, like Arwen in Lord of the Rings, some of his life force got given in, but it only gave him 20 years left, So, yeah, that's what I remember.
We're going to watch it right here next week, and we're going to watch it with you. And I'm excited to watch it with all of you. Brent said earlier, it's fun to watch this with friends, and that's exactly what we get to do here on Babylon 5 for the second time. So make sure you're subscribed, comment, be a part of the community, right? Like, if you're on YouTube, there's a whole conversation going on down there. Get into it. It's awesome. If you're not on YouTube and you're on a podcasting app that does the comments like Spotify or Good Pods, do that as well. If you're not there, hop over to our Patreon, where we've got a ton of conversation happening all the time. We've got a Discord. We got stuff on the Patreon itself. There's links in the show notes for all of that. If you don't want to talk to anybody about it, that's fine. But you can definitely do one thing that'll make a huge difference for us. It'll mean everything to us. And that is share it. Share it with someone. And the cool thing with sharing in this time of the world that we live in, you don't even have to talk to anybody about it. Just hit the little button on your phone or on your screen there. It says share, copy link, message, whatever, and then send it off. You don't have to say anything. It's cool if you do say something, but you don't have to. So with that, we're going to close out season 3 of Babylon 5 and get ready to dive into season 4. So I'm Jeff. This is Brent.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah, what's up, Brent?
You know, I've kind of been teasing you with something this whole season, or a lot of the season anyway. Something I've been I've told you I was going to tell you, and do you finally want to know?
Yeah, of course I do.
I mean, it's the end of the season. I think it's time to tell you.
Yeah, dude, I'm so ready for this.
All right. Well, actually, I need you to do something first.
Okay, what do I need to do?
Come with me to Zahadum.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Man, those two are right next to each other.
Yep.